bouncer has on view in that last delivery.
Yeah, really impressed with the way Ziaur Rahman has bowled. And as a pacer, when you've been given the ball at any point,
A bit of camaraderie from Rashid Khan as he welcomes Jason Holder to the middle. Some shaking of the hands between himself and the president, who introduces himself into the attack. After guiding the speedsters, as we saw earlier in the innings, bowls team up were his instructions to Fazal Haq Farooqi and Azmatullah Omarzai. Brings in so much experience, calm head, senior statesman. Plenty of guile. He will be backing himself to get into the wicket score. Nice and early.
yeah, Mohammad Nabi comes on to bowl from the com box end. He's a true example of an Iceman, Mohammad Nabi. Through the years, very quietly, with great conduct and professionalism, he's played his cricket, won matches for his side, remained very unassuming in all of it. Never really hogs the limelight, just about does his job, and that's what you need from a senior statesman. Just perform consistently.
Respectful start from Jason Holder. Yeah, he doesn't rush through his spells, does he? Just waits for the batters to make mistakes.
Yeah, once upon a time, an off spinner coming around the wicket was a big no, Anisha. But today, it's the best possible plan you can do in these stages of the game, because with the angle, you're negating that hit with the turn. And that's why the batter also will think twice. Should I go with that swipe or try to smear it down mid-wicket?
Smear, I love the use of the term there. Sits beautifully in a sentence that you would associate with the West Indies batting lineup of old, Carnage. Respectfully played once again by Jason Holder. He's looking to bide his time, and that is something he would expect more of his teammates to do in this batting lineup. Just try to get through an over, maybe with just 7. Not go bish, bash, bosh every single delivery. Teetering at 75 for 6 in this chase of 183.
Yeah, this will certainly be the order of play, but the timing of this partnership in terms of singles and the accumulation of those runs may not be the ideal scenario at this stage. What an over to begin with for Mohammad Nabi. Just the 3 coming off it. 76 for 6 with 8 overs to go. Yeah, it's been warm-ups all the way for the last couple of days across India and Sri Lanka. All teams coming together, getting their 15 boys out to the park and telling them to go have a hit and a ball and adapt to conditions and just strike some good form and rhythm. At the moment, Afghanistan have ticked all boxes this evening as Omarzai comes on to bowl from the far end.
Good bouncer to kickstart his 3rd over. Almost got a 3-wicket haul at the close of his 2nd, had it not been for a dropped catch. He's looked really good today. One of the front runners for the player of the match honours. 35 quick-fire runs with the bat. And of course, 2 early big blows inside the power play.
I just like the way Omarzai has evolved as a cricketer. He started off as someone who was contributing either with bat or ball. His multi-potential skills weren't right there. But then it's also up to the management and the board to believe and see in a talent like him and invest time and effort. And equally important for a player like him to respond, and he's really aced it. He's now one of the mercurial all-rounders in the side.
Glorious cover drive from Jason Holder. Straight to Mohammad Nabi. So far in this stay of 6 balls, Holder's really treated this outing as a warm-up. Warming up to the big hits, is he?
Holder's been put on hold right now by the Afghanistan bowlers, Anisha.
And he's holding it all back in. Right then, Omarzai up against Holder.
And they're a good fielding side, Afghanistan. And just like the way they've attacked the ball in the outfield, you don't really sit back. It's a very long boundary. So there's always a chance for the batter to come back for the throw, but they're not allowing that equation there. In contrast to the observation you made, Anisha, when Afghanistan were batting, the way they completed and converted those ones into twos.
Yeah, 42.5%. I'll keep reminding all our viewers of that number. The highest percentage of dot balls faced by any batting unit across full member nations. The worst, really, since that last T20 World Cup. And that unenviable record belongs to West Indies. They need to sprinkle these singles and twos with greater regularity amidst their big hitting. That has been their signature all through the evolution as one of the premier sides.
And I just sense this last delivery is going to be a very important one for West Indies. It's been a couple of quiet overs. You really want to put one past the ropes, because otherwise you're just playing the inevitable moment. Great over once again by Omarzai. Yeah, he's lost his shape on this. Talk about the last delivery coming in handy. Oh, that's been put down. A one-handed casual effort in the deep gives the batter an opportunity to stick along in the crease as Holder survives what could have been another wicket to Omarzai. He's not impressed. 2 runs coming off it. What could have been a wicket? 5 runs of this over. It's 81 for 6.
Zia Rahman Sharifi going for that catch with just that one hand. And the 3rd wicket keeps eluding Azmatullah Omarzai. And it's happened of the last ball of his consecutive overs.
Onisha, 2 is company, 3 is crowd, they say. Maybe that's why that third wicket is eluding him at the moment. Yeah, but very unlucky there, Umar Zahi. He deserved a couple of wickets for the way he's bowled this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. Could have well been a 4-wicket haul now had those last 2 catches been taken of his bowling. Still has 1 more over to go. And it looks like he's going to walk off the field, at least for now, as Shahidullah Kamal walks onto the field of play as a substitute. Mohammad Nabi, with the ball in hand, starts off wayward in his second over.
Very lively character behind the stumps, Rahmanullah Gurbaz. Always wears a smile, always up for a conversation. Powell, can he bring out the power?
The president strikes, weaves his magic once again through the gates and into the furniture of Rahman Powell. You can never keep Mohammad Nabi out of the wickets column or the game.
Very smart piece of bowling. Again, a quicker one darted in. Powell just trying to play that towards mid-wicket, close the face of the bat, and that went through bat and pad. Yeah, just trying to force it down to mid-wicket. The pace and the accuracy doing Powell in. Afghanistan have had a lovely evening here at the BCCI Centre of Excellence so far. First with the bat, and now they've accumulated 7 wickets in quick time for only 82 runs, and almost all the bowlers have been amongst wickets.
The floodlights have started coming on at these picturesque premises of the BCCI Centre of Excellence in the southern Indian city of Bengaluru. And with that, Jonathan Trott, ever aware, walks onto the field of play and into the huddle. He's a difficult taskmaster, never easy to please him. The opposition is down on the mat, 82 for 7, and even now, he's just hunting for this crucial stratagems to impart to his boys and get this game in the bag as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that made for a lovely visual, right? More like a headmaster having a chat with the students over there and all listening to the headmaster very attentively. Everyone cued in, even the president, Mr. Mohammad Nabi. Yeah, as a side who wants to really push the limits, you don't want to settle for the ordinary. That's because you're out there to do the extraordinary, Onisha. Afghanistan is one such side. They don't settle for the spoils that don't really mean a podium finish. We've seen them running teams close in the last editions. They are there, they're almost there, but they're not right there. And this time around, they want to do that. And this has been a clinical effort so far by them.
Absolutely. En route to their second successive win in this warm-up phase of theirs. This will conclude their practice outing before their tournament proper gets underway. Mohammad Nabi once again coming in late into the attack, eking out those wickets. Hungry as ever, on the money, at will. And with the tail of West Indies exposed, he will back himself to take a flurry in quick time.
And as a bowling side, quite a statement. We can defend anything. 182 you would have felt on this surface is a pass score, but they've had them on the mat at 82.
Use of the feet from Ford. Gently nurdles this into the leg side. And look at that quick thinking on the part of Nabi. Saw him charge down the track, just dragged the length back and kept it leg side.
Yeah, that has to be the line, leg and middle, because there's no protection in the deep on the offside square of the wicket behind. So if he really alters that, he'll end up conceding extra runs.
Interesting that Jason Holder has not played a single shot of aggression against Mohammad Nabi. And so far has played most of the deliveries against Nabi. Oh, pings him on the pads. A quick question from Gurbaz, because probably that ricochet of the pads onto the helmet will call for a concussion check right away. Will the umpires, as the physio scampers onto the field of play?
As much as Matthew Ford was saying it's not needed, he's unaware of the fact that it's mandatory. And that test will have to go through. But so nice of Gurbaz to quickly check on him rather than find out where the ball had gone.
Always important to take these precautionary measures. Quick showcase of the fingers. Is Ford reading them all right? Prescribed list of questions that every physio/team doctor needs to go through. Good to see Ford has a smile on his countenance.
So does everybody out there, Onisha. From Gurbaz to Mohammad Nabi, everyone's breaking into a big smile. They play a lot of cricket with each other, against each other, thanks to franchise cricket. So they are friends, obviously. They turn foes for a couple of hours, and then once again off the field, they share a lot of laughter and conversation. At the moment, Afghanistan, you just feel that they've covered all bases and they're looking a very nice side.
Right then, last ball of Nabi's second over. Ford pulls this, a short arm pull, transitioning into a sweep of sorts, a single coming off that, closes out the 14th over. West Indies 85 for 7. Last 6 overs in this chase of 183 coming up. What's going to be the modus operandi for this West Indian tail? Jason Holder can use the long handle, has been sedate and watchful so far in his 9-ball stay. Noor Ahmed back into the attack for his second and last spell.
They still haven't, or rather we haven't seen Rashid Khan still in operation with the ball. Lovely hit. Yeah, watch it go. Watch it sail. You knew it from the moment he got underneath that, Matthew Ford. He had connected that really well. Much needed 6, or should I say against the run of play coming West Indies way.
Clean as a whistle from Ford there. Look at the extension of his arms. Exquisite timing. No brute force. Just giving it the kind of treatment it deserved. It was in a slot and dispatched. Once again, the laces in viewing led to a wicket in the Afghanistan innings. Goes long, goes big, and has got the distance. Back-to-back 6s for Matthew Ford.
Hey, talk about the target over, the release shot, some impetus, some momentum, some fight back. Matthew Ford may have been quiet for a while, but he's come out with some intent in this over. Just clearing that left foot. And on both occasions, he looked to play straight, and that straight as a die. Gets plenty of bat on it. Noor Ahmed will be wondering, where should I be pitching my next delivery? This man's in a daring mood.
Trying to inject some late flourish to the proceedings here is Matthew Ford. And somehow, after that concussion check, he's flicked the switch. 2 6s already. And this one, cut away, should challenge the fielder. Tidied up well. Sadiqullah Atal in the deep. 13 runs already in the first 3 deliveries of this Noor Ahmed third over.
Yeah, he'll have to go all out from here on. It's going to be a good contest between bat and ball. Who'll have the bragging rights by the end of 3 deliveries from here? Let's see. Nicely cut away. That's in the gap. And that'll spell away for a 4. Make that 18 runs in the first 4 deliveries of over number 15. The 100 coming up as well. Matthew Ford says, hang on. We have a bit of a plan here in this chase.
Putting on quite the show is Matthew Ford. Deft touch once again, using the pace. Misfield from the point fielder allows for that shot to go to the fence. 6 followed by 2 and a 4. Late adjustment being made by Ford. He was shaping up for yet another big stroke in the leg side.
You just feel Ford is driving a Ferrari, Anisha.
What a blockbuster movie that was. Here is a blockbuster viewing underway, pulled away by Ford once again. Beneficial, productive over for West Indies. 15 gone. West Indies 104 for 7. Right then, 5 more overs to go. 79 needed by West Indies. Afghanistan need 3 wickets to close out this game, and also their second successive win in the warm-up phase leading into the big one, the grandest stage, the shortest format of the game, the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026, as Johnny Barron comes into the commentary box.
Well, interestingly poised, this one, isn't it? A couple more big overs like that.
Ford on strike. Tried tickling this one, and it looks like he scoped a bit of a blow on the waist, trying to rub his waist, or perhaps the back limb, in fact. Wincing in pain.
in conditions they'll enjoy here. Over. Leg bye in the mix as well. It's been a bit of a mixed bag here with the bat by the West Indies. I just think the slower bowlers, when pace was off the ball, West Indies struggled to find the ropes and never really kept up with the rate.
It bears reminding that West Indies sit in Group C of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026 alongside England, Italy, Nepal, and Scotland. This is not a group of reputations, really, as it is of styles that could directly trouble this Shai Hope-led unit. Sharifi with the ball. Doesn't get all of it. Jason Holder. He's really struggled to find fluency.
Yeah, looking at that group, for me, the best chance for an associate to get through to the Super 8s is that group. West Indies, you feel they're a fraction vulnerable. They know how to win here. They won back in 2016. But in ICC competitions, they've often had, certainly in the 50 over, they've often have to come through a qualifying campaign. They didn't qualify for the last 50 over World Cup. We're lucky to qualify in the 50 over World Cup before that. But they're just a fraction vulnerable, you feel, the West Indies. Three very hungry associates sit in that side of the draw.
Short ball once again. How good have these Afghanistan bowlers been today with the deployment of bouncers, back of length deliveries, and the short balls as well. On the money, vicious, asking constant questions.
Yeah, Marzai has been superb. Love the way in which he's mixed his lengths up. Never allowed the openers to settle. He bowled in that previous spell up at the top of the order.
You're talking about the variety in Group C. Really, it's loaded with banana peels, England, the headline contest, Nepal, tactical danger. That's going to be Scotland.
off his legs. But the West Indies have got a great opportunity of getting into the Super 8s. But that is the game that all the associates will be targeting. Italy will fancy their chances. Scotland will fancy their chances. And Nepal, of course, having beaten them in the Unity Cup, the 3-match series in recent times. You just feel that group is where, if an associates you get into that Super 8s, that's where a side's going to come from.
Shapes up to play the big pull once again. The connection eluding. Terrific over in the sense of how Ziaur Rahman was able to close it out with a dot ball. West Indies 116 for 7 after the conclusion of the 17th.
Yeah, 22.33. Not many games of T20 are won at with that kind of equation required. Rashid Khan just exerting a couple of words of advice of his young charge, Faruqi. Rashid Khan, well, what a tournament he's likely to have, and enjoy the conditions here in India. So experienced.
Hardly any indication there, Johnny, that Rashid wants to bowl himself tonight. And from the looks of it, he's also taken the captaincy reins from the stand-in skipper, his regular deputy, Ibrahim Zadran, who's been something of a spectator, patrolling long on for the best part of the last 3 overs. And most of the instructions that have come to the bowlers have come from Rashid. Faruqi with his 4th over. Holder can only get 1 run of that flamboyant heave into the leg side.
I think Rashid Khan, probably what he wanted to achieve today, he knows his game so well. He plays so much cricket, both international and high-level franchise cricket, that he doesn't, I think it's important for him to use the breadth of his attack and other people that he might be calling upon across the course of this tournament. He knows his game inside out.
Ford is looking to get past the sweeper cover, unsuccessful on that occasion. We spoke about how West Indies are placed in Group C, bears reminding that Afghanistan's Group D journey will test their balance a little bit, because you have opposition and big match experience from New Zealand and South Africa, hunger from UAE and Canada. It sets up perfectly for Afghanistan's style, though, where control through the middle overs often decides their victories. Pulled away. And it's been a while since the last boundary has come for West Indies in this chase of 183.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. That group is going to be fascinating. New Zealand, of course, are fairly battle-hardened. They've been in India for a while. And, of course, did really well in the ODI series, came out second best in the T20 series, but they're an equipped side, very dangerous side in any ICC competition. South Africa have got a lot of power, a lot of depth. Again, going to be difficult to unpick.
Terrific Yorker. He's been such a fine exponent of that delivery all through the course of his spell today. Fazil Faruqi keeping a leash on the batters, the big hitters.
Obviously, Afghanistan know these conditions so well, but if you look at all the IPL experience that both New Zealand have and South Africa have, they're very used to the conditions, used to the grounds. But, you just feel Afghanistan have got to back themselves in these circumstances. Not quite home conditions, but about as close to home as you could possibly get for them.
Yes, they opened their campaign at Chepauk on Sunday against New Zealand in the day's opening fixture. Holder gets all of it and sends this humming straight down the ground for a 4. And at long last, West Indies get a boundary.
Yeah, break of the shackles here by Jason Holder. Just a very handy club. Straight as a die as well. Nicely played.
Excellent outing with the ball for Fazlak Farooqi. 1 for 28 so far. Last ball of his spell coming up. And he finishes with a terrific delivery that will yield only a single run. Farooqi returns figures of 1 for 28 from his 4-over allocation. 18 overs gone. West Indies 125 for 7.
What's been really interesting, I think, in this game is that the way in which I've looked at Afghanistan go about their business, everybody has a role. Everybody knows exactly what they're doing. With this West Indies side today, it's been a little bit more experimental. The likes of Jayden Seal and Shamar Joseph, would they play a great deal in the T20 World Cup? They may well have parts to play, but you know, Afghanistan, this is felt as close to a dress rehearsal as you could possibly get, apart from the fact Rashid Khan hasn't bowled. But other than that, this feels like they're so acutely conscious of how difficult their group's going to be.
And their top order collapse today, how the top 5 unraveled, has been exactly how their collapses have looked in this T20 World Cup cycle. Early wickets, dot ball pressure, big shot attempted to break the squeeze and resulting in more wickets. Smashed into the leg side, and that is going to be a boundary to this West Indian tally. That's some way to greet the new bowler.
Just a fraction on leg stump, and again it's picked up on length nicely by Jason Holder.
Holder's accelerated well, and that is going to be a dot ball.
Yeah, the interesting thing with this West Indies side is how much power they've got. The only problem with that is they tend to be a little bit frenetic if things aren't going their way. You mentioned that dot ball percentage and that key thing of kind of trying to rotate the strike, and that's what, in those middle overs, that's what Afghanistan were very good at. When the run rate dropped, they still didn't lose their heads.
Oh, smashed. Short ball. It was there to be hit. You're absolutely on the money, Johnny. West Indies, relying on their power, don't run into trouble. They hit themselves into trouble, leading to spectacular collapses. That is something they really need to be mindful of. And they've gotten a live example today. So if anything these warm-up matches can do is help them fine-tune those shortcomings and iron out the creases. Ford back on strike. Short ball. And is being adjudged a wide.
Yeah, the other thing when you think of the firepower that the West Indies have at their disposal, you think the likes of Nicholas Pooran, who's retired, of course, from international cricket, and there's a number of others you think that would actually fit into this side quite nicely. One of the problems that the West Indies often has from a national perspective is they never quite are calling upon the best 11 players across the islands. They tend to use the best players that are available.
Ford gives this an almighty whack, lights up the evening sky in Bengaluru, and sends this packing for a 6. He's built for speed. No half measures on that stroke.
Well, his third big 6 down the ground. What a terrific blow that is. It's in the slot, but that goes miles. That has disappeared, thudding into the side screen. What a blow.
Look at that strike. Make that back-to-back 6s for Matthew Ford.
Well, he's keeping the game mathematically alive here. That one over the top of wide mid-off. What a strike.
Minimal feet movement, maximum results, maximum damage. He's spoiling the figures of Azmatullah Omarzai, who's been absolutely tongued through the course of his last 5 deliveries. Expertly dug out, should pick up a single. Omarzai, who had been frugal productive, and amongst the wickets, all through except this last over, finishes with figures of 2 for 33, 19 gone, West Indies 144 for 7.
Yeah, bear in mind, 2 for 33, 19 of those came off the last over. Well, 39 off the final over, so West Indies require snookers. Safe to say, a little bit short in this chase. Matthew Ford has enjoyed himself. Without doubt, the standout performance in this West Indies card. Coming in at number 9 as well. I'm not sure necessarily that's where he would come in the tournament proper.
Oh, shuffles across, was eyeing the reverse fee, only gets the toe end of the bat and a single run. Lots of lateral movement inside the crease.
It's quite cleverly bowled, actually. Spotted him. Got the ball full and straight. What a tournament that we've got coming up, haven't we? 55 games, the biggest ICC event ever staged. 20 teams. Incredible to see how the game has developed. Bear in mind, if you think how these ICC competitions have gone from strength to strength and depth as well.
He's given it the kitchen sink and then some has Jason Holder as West Indies find some late flourish in this chase.
Yeah, Jason Holder in the squad back in 2016. Didn't play, but he'd love to add a T20 title to his glittering career. Play a useful part, you feel, with bat and ball in this campaign coming up for the West Indies.
Entertaining last 4 deliveries coming up, I tell you. The result is something of a foregone conclusion in favor of Afghanistan. Oh, smart work from Ziaur Rahman Sharifi. It is adjudged wide.
Yeah, in the end, a nice bit of bowling, really. We just doesn't quite get away with it. Yeah, West Indies have been good here. There's just a sense of a real sort of element of sort of intensity, the way in which Jonathan Trott was out there, all the breaks, briefing his players. He knows he's got to get the plans right. They've literally got to be on the front foot from the start in that tournament. Not just South Africa and New Zealand. There's other dangerous banana skins in that group for them.
Yorker, once again, been such a staple throughout the course of the last 20-odd overs from this Afghanistan pace attack. And they've nailed them more often than not.
Yeah, they've been excellent. Really well drilled. I love the way the paces, especially up at the top of the innings. We know about the Afghanistan spin attack. They are brilliant. But the way in which they've been prepared to vary their length, they've kept the West Indies top order guessing really as to where the next ball was going to be.
Upish, fielder getting around it, cannot. That is going to be a boundary, make that 48 runs to the tally of Matthew Ford. Now just 2 runs short of what is going to be a terrific half century.
Oh, this is nicely picked up. Just for a second, it looked as if he might be in a fraction spot of bother, but just landed short in the end. Yeah, chance at just putting his name in the hat here, Matthew Ford. Batting down here at number 9 in the card. Would like to get a bit further up, absolutely. That top order.
Last 2 balls of the match left. Ford on strike. Ford gets his 50. His engine has roared all the way in top gear from the get-go. And he's cruised past every checkpoint. What an innings this has been. A 50 coming off, just 25 deliveries.
Yeah, good stuff from Matthew Ford. One of the few major highlights in this West Indies performance. Just brute force in the end. Getting it wide of deep long off. Beautifully played. Great 50.
Last ball of the innings and the match. Nutmegs Matthew Ford, Ziaur Rahman Sharifi and Afghanistan end with a dot. Seal their second successive victory in the warm-up outings. First against Scotland and today against the West Indies.
Yeah, it's been a super run out for Afghanistan, who look match tight. Played some good cricket in the build-up to this campaign. Well marshalled throughout. They bowled beautifully. They did enough with the bat in the first innings. To some extent, at various stages in this game, it felt a little bit like men against boys. And the West Indies will, of course, come another day. I'll just put this down to pure experience. It doesn't really matter, of course. It's just a warm-up. They'll be a little bit disappointed about the way in which they just never really got ahead of the game with the bat in hand. And that's because of the brilliance of this Afghanistan side, and especially their attack. They have got a squad and a side you feel that are really equipped to do some damage in this competition. Semi-finals last time out in 2024. Can they go one step further, maybe even two steps further? Marshalled by that man there, of course. Rashid Khan will lead them into battle. Mohamed Nabi just picking up the bat of Matthew Ford. He enjoyed it with that, didn't he? It might be pinching it off him.
He's doing a quick check of the size, the width, and why not? Matthew Ford made for blockbuster viewing in this unsuccessful chase of West Indies. Afghanistan win by an emphatic 23-run margin, and they will be heading into their